I made like 100 today, but was hungry and looking real bummy today.
You was bony and looking too funny today.
I don't care, nigga still made Cheeze. Let's go. I made like 100 today, but was hungry and looking real bummy today.
You was bony and looking too funny today.
I don't care, nigga still made Cheeze. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the Chatting with Cheeze podcast. And I'm your host, Fat Cheeze. And this is episode 2. You see, I told y'all we getting that ball rolling. So I'm going to jump right into it. I ain't going to waste no time. Let's get into it. So last night, I'm pretty sure everybody watched. You had Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. To me personally, best fight of the year so far in 2024. Fireworks from Jump Street. I like the fight. It was a pretty enjoyable fight. Definitely some unexpected shit went on. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out to Ryan Garcia. You shocked the world. You a lot of motherfuckers, I know for 100%, a lot of motherfuckers had Devin. Like, everybody can sit up here and say they thought Ryan was gonna win. It's a couple people I ran into that said Ryan, but what I thought going into the fight was, this is what I said leading up to the fight and even going into the fight last night. I felt like if Devin could avoid the punching power of Ryan, then I felt like if it went the distance at all 12 rounds, I felt like that Devin could win the fight because I thought Ryan couldn't outbox Devin. Still, right now, I feel like Ryan can't outbox Devin, but Ryan did what I thought he had to do. I said going into the fight, Ryan would either have to knock Devin out or he would have to hurt Devin really bad, and he did that. Coming out the gate in that first round, he hit him with that hook, and I think it took Devin by surprise. I think after that hook in the first round, Devin guessed all night. Like, he made sure anytime he went in or did anything, he always went with that second thought of being careful about that hook. But I felt like after that, he kept his composure a little bit. He got hit with the hook in the first round. I felt like he kept his composure. I actually gave Devin rounds 2 through 7 up to that point because I felt like Ryan came out aggressive early, like everybody knew he would. He came out aggressive, and I felt like kind of that first through 7th round, he kind of like was on his back, kind of backpedaling, not really being as aggressive as he came out in that first round. But boy, in that 7th round, when he caught Devin with that hook, and I think after that, all bets went out the window. I just think Devin couldn't recover. He knocked Devin down. They only put him down as like 3 knockdowns, but it was honestly more than that. And for that ref, I gotta get his name, but for that ref, he don't never need to. I don't know if he had Devin money line, or I don't know if he had Ryan. I don't know, Ryan going the distance. I don't know, but that fight should have been stopped. Round 7 through 12, it was complete domination from Ryan. I seen some unofficial scorecards had it as a draw. I felt like they was doing everything in their power to keep Devin in the fight. Like, if you watch that fight, round 7 through 12, it wasn't even close. Devin was bleeding like crazy, wobbly legs. After that first knockout, I just felt like Devin never recovered. He never recovered. He had his ass all in the air. You know what I'm saying? He never recovered from that first knockdown. And I just think Ryan came in there with a game plan. People gonna try to use all type of excuses as weight. He 3 pounds over. That ain't a real big difference. You know what I'm saying? And if they felt like it was a big difference, Devin could have turned down the fight. I mean, when Ryan did come in there overweight, what it was is people thought Ryan was, and I'm one of them people included. I take that. People thought Ryan was gonna come in there. He wasn't going to be prepared. He was joking around. You seeing everything going on Twitter. And you know what I'm saying? He chugged a beer at the weigh-in. They was calling the man crazy and all that. And people underestimated him. They thought, oh, man, Devin going to go in there and Devin going to whoop him. And I ain't going to lie. I didn't think Devin was going to whoop him. But I did feel like that if it went the distance, that Devin was the better boxer. But, man, shouts out to Ryan Garcia. Like I said, he dominated the fight from round 7 through 12. I think he came in there early and set the tone that he was coming in there looking for the kill. He even wore a shirt to the arena saying something about ready for murder or something like that in that aspect. But Man, shout out to Ryan Garcia. You gained a lot of respect from me yesterday with that fight. I just want to give you Derek James, your team, a shout out. But this is what we not gonna do. And I came on here and it's not me defending Devin or nothing like that, but because I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan. I like him, but I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan. But what we gotta stop doing is we gotta break out of that habit of when a fighter lose, you know what I'm saying, people, oh man, it's over, or he ain't gonna be able to generate that buzz that he had. Man, listen. Let me tell you something. Devin is a great fighter. That man was 31-0. He had a bad night. It happens. See, I like to say this when I'm talking to people about boxing, because I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm a big boxing fan, but I am a boxing fan. I am in tune. I love Floyd Mayweather. I was a Floyd Mayweather fan since I was younger, growing up watching him. But I always say this, and this is no jab at Floyd or nothing like that, but I always say this. Floyd was a gift and a curse to the sport of boxing. And the reason why I say that is because Floyd went 50-0. Great achievement. One of the very few boxers that went undefeated. Floyd is pound for pound the GOAT. I call him the GOAT. To me, I say he's the GOAT of boxing. Anybody else may differ from that. I'm not here to argue that. But what we got to stop doing is everybody's not Floyd Mayweather. Everybody's not going to go undefeated. Everybody's not going to, you know what I'm saying, not look terrible. It happens. It's a combat sport. And that's why I feel like in a little bit of way, the sport is dying a little bit, because you got people scared to fight because they feel like, oh man, if I lose, then, you know what I'm saying, it's like their career is over in a sort. Or look at Ryan. Ryan lost the Tank, and he just rejuvenated his career. And I don't want to say it, but I feel like it's only done to a certain group of boxers. You know what I'm saying? Because we see Spanish fighters, Mexican fighters lose all the time, and they right back in, and the crowd, they still selling out arenas. So we got to stop that. Like, we got to break out that. Shout out to Devin. I liked his response yesterday. He didn't make no excuses. He said he slept on Ryan. He said they trained for everything. It's just he had an off night. Ryan is a good boxer. He got that strong left hand. Ryan is a good boxer. So shout out to Devin. You took your L. You took it on the chin like a man. Now it's time to get back in the gym and get prepared to bounce back. Me personally, I don't want to see a rematch, because I felt like even if Ryan would have made weight, he still would have beat Devin. It's just some people, you know what I'm saying, they have your number, and I think Ryan got his number. So I don't want to see a rematch, but Devin should definitely shake back and get back in the ring, and you know what I'm saying, hopefully his next performance is better. But I don't want people to let yesterday make you think, oh, it's over for him. We're not gonna do that. Devin is a great fighter, and hopefully we'll see him soon, get his shit together, and you know what I'm saying, shake back. Moving on from that, I'm gonna talk about some of the NBA playoff games. The ones that I was most intrigued in, as far as over the weekend, I just finished watching the Mavs and Clippers. It's still 2 more games left, but I'm just gonna go into the ones that I watched so far from yesterday on and today. So the first one I'm gonna discuss is the Lakers versus the Nuggets. Pretty good game. Lakers kept it close. I think they was up 3 going into the second half. LeBron hit a damn near like a logo 3 going into halftime, gave the Lakers like a 3-point lead going into the second half. But I just felt like Denver came out in that second half, and that championship pedigree came. And I'm gonna be honest, the Lakers, they didn't get the contribution that they should have got from a bunch of they other guys. Anthony Davis did what he was supposed to do. He gave you 32 and 14. LeBron gave you 27, 6 and 8. That's what you want from your stars. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when it comes to playoff basketball, it's all up. The stars, they gonna give you what they give you, but it's about the role players. And I just feel like the Lakers didn't get enough of that. D'Lo gave you 13, but he went 1 for 9 from 3. You can't have it. It's not gonna work. Not against Denver. D'Lo been averaging about 17, 18 points ever since the trade deadline. That's the D'Lo that they need. You can't go 1 for 9 from 3, not against a team like this, because you see what happened last year. They swept y'all ass. So D'Lo didn't have a good game. Reeves had 13, but also 2 or 6 from 3. You can't have it. Reeves was supposed to be that third guy. So going up against a team of that caliber championship, especially with guys like Jokic and, you know what I'm saying, Jamal Murray, you know what they're going to give you, but they others contribute. That's what make them so good. So like I said, hopefully D'Lo and Reeves can rebound the next game. Rui didn't give you much. He gave you 7. And they only got 11 total bench points. And that's from Torian Prince gave you 11 points off the bench. But other than that, literally nobody contributed. So it was basically Bron and AD and just the other guys just out there. That's not going to be enough, especially not against a team of the caliber of Denver. And then on the Denver side, you know what you're going to get from Jokic. He gave you 32, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. That's just what he do. To this point, that's expected. I feel like he's going to be the MVP this year. That's just expected from Jokic. He won that championship, and now, you know what I'm saying, it's a certain level. Like, you just know what Jokic going to give you at this point. Jamal Murray gave you 22 and 10 assists. Jamal Murray he just shows up in big moments. 22 and 10 assists, that's good for him. You know what I'm saying, playing off of Jokic. That's really what you need from Jamal Murray. That's kind of what you expect. But again, the others played a huge factor in this game going the way it went. You got 19 and 8 from Michael Porter Jr. That's good for him. You know what I'm saying? Michael Porter Jr., you expect between 15 to 20 points from Michael Porter Jr. So 19 and 8, that's a good game. Once again, production from the other guy. But you got KCP that gave you 12, and he hit some timely threes yesterday. So KCP had a decent game for his role, and then you got Eric Gordon that gave you 12 and 11 rebounds. So, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with a team like that, it's all about the other guys. What are the other guys going to give you? What can you get from your bench? They beat the Lakers yesterday, the bench point 17-11. So even though that's not really a huge margin, they still beat them, you know what I'm saying, within the bench points. So, I mean, the Lakers just need more production from guys like D'Lo, Reeves, Hachimura. They need more production from their bench because you're not beating a team like Denver where you got 5 guys in the starting lineup give you double digits. It's not happening. You're not beating Denver. I don't care. You could play it. It could be close in the first half, but eventually they're going to start, you know what I'm saying, pulling away just because everybody's playing off the back of Jokic. Jokic dominates games, period. So hopefully Nuggets lead the series 1-0. Hopefully next game Lakers get another crack at it tomorrow. So hopefully D'Lo and Austin Reeves, you know what I'm saying, get their shit together, and you know what I'm saying, hopefully, maybe, I'm not going to say hopefully, but maybe they win tomorrow and go back to LA 1-1. We just got to wait and see. Next game I want to discuss is my Suns versus the Wolves. First and foremost, I want to say this, man. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. I believe Anthony Edwards is the future of this league. Just one of them guys you like to watch. I'm not a Wolves fan, but I like to watch Anthony Edwards. Shout out JK. But Anthony Edwards is the future of this league. I love seeing him and KD go back and forth. You know, he always come out and say that KD is his favorite player. So I like seeing that him and KD go back and forth, and you know, KD laughing. That's their young man. You know what I'm saying? That's their young boy. So you know what I'm saying? I like that. But watching this game, like I said, Suns just didn't get no production from anybody other than KD. KD gave you 31 and 7. You expect that from KD in a playoff game. That's just what KD do. Came out hot in the first half. He kind of dimmed it down a little bit in the second half, but he still gave you 31. I mean, that's just what you expect and what you want out of KD. Booker looked terrible. He gave you 18, but he went 5 of 16 from the field, and he went 2 of 6 from 3. But he looked terrible. One thing about Booker, like, he's like a volume guy. Like, right now, watching the Suns, and I'm a Suns fan, I'm a KD fan. Like, I've been watching KD his whole career. And what I notice about Devin Booker, like, when I watch him, he gives me Russell Westbrook vibes from OKC. Like, it's like he don't understand, like, where the game is at. It's like he searched to get his buckets, and then other than that, everything else just come. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as assist, like, you got to look for your teammates, bro. You playing with one of the greatest players to ever touch the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? You got to look for your teammates. You can't keep dribbling with your head down or dribbling 1,000 times until pull up a mid-range until you find your shot. You can't do it, bro. You going up against one of the best defensive teams in the league. They might be actually the best. You know what I'm saying? So they need more from Devin Booker. You the second guy, so they need more from Devin Booker. Bradley Beal gave you 15. He went 6 of 10 from the field, but he went 6 of 10 from the field and 1 for 3 from the field. I mean, really, this stage of his career, Bradley Beal, he's the third option. So I take 15 from Bradley Beal. He was a lot more aggressive in the second half. Only thing about Bradley Beal that kind of annoys me when I watch the Suns is he don't look for a shot. I understand, and this is the reason why I didn't like the idea of them not having a point guard. Because the way I look at it, you were brought in to be aggressive. I'm not expecting to get Bradley Beal from the Wizards because you've never been in this role before. You're the third option. But I am expecting for you, when you get mismatches or when you get down in the lane, look for your shot. Pull up. Give us that mid-range. Get to the hole. Get fouled. Go to the free throw line. I understand you want to do this point guard role and, I'm the point guard, I got to get others involved. But we're in the playoffs, bro. We trying to win. So we need you to look for your shot. But I take 15 from Bradley Beal. Royce O'Neal gave you 14 points off the bench. The bench didn't do shit. And I'm just going to say it straight like that. Grayson Allen turned into Harris from Brooklyn from a couple years ago when KD played for Brooklyn. He turned into Joe Harris, but he ended up getting hurt. But he only gave you 4 points. He wasn't doing nothing before he got hurt. So hopefully he's healthy enough to go for game 2. But the bench gave you nothing. Eric Gordon doesn't need to touch the floor anymore. He's just one of them guys. It's one or the other with him. Either he's all the way on or he completely off. So I'm the bench. And let me look in the camera and say this. And this right here is for Frank Vogel. I don't know what you doing as far as the rotations, but if you don't get this shit together and this causes us to lose this series, you need to be fired after this year. And I'm not even one of them type of people that look for people to be fired, but you need to be fired because it's nowhere in the world you seen Bol come in, give you the production he's giving you this year off the bench, and he doesn't play. It's no way you got Thaddeus Young, who's a vet, who, you know what I'm saying, he's a little long in the tooth, he a little older, but you have a vet like Thaddeus Young on the bench, and you don't give him no minutes. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on the bench that can come in and contribute, but instead you want to keep playing guys like Eric Gordon, and you want to keep playing guys like Drew Eubanks. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we trying to win. So, Frank Vogel, you got to get your shit together or you need to be out of here because them rotations is terrible. And I'm speaking for all Suns fans. Them rotations is terrible. On the Wolves side, Anthony Edwards gave you 33, 14 of 24 from the field, and he was 4 for 8 from 3. Anthony Edwards took this game over in the second half. I think Minnesota, those guys over there, they just you know what I'm saying, went off his energy. He brought the energy in the second half. He didn't start the game out fast, but once that second half started going, he started feeling it. I think Anthony Edwards knew, you know what I'm saying, he felt the vibe of the game. He kind of new to the playoffs, but he felt the vibe of the game. And I mean, let's just be honest. Minnesota is playing like a team, they don't have nothing to lose. I mean, even though they are the third seed, but nobody is expecting Minnesota to win the championship. Let's just be honest. Nobody expecting them to win the championship. Honestly, you got some. I think they not even the favorite to win this series. So Anthony Edwards, I think he came out in that second half and he looked for blood. It didn't matter who they put on him. He giving them step backs, hezzies. You know what I'm saying? Yonderville, shooting it from Yonderville. He all over the place. He just everywhere. And then he talking that shit to KD. But I like it though. I like it. That's playoff basketball. So shout out to Anthony Edwards. Like I said, Karl Anthony Towns gave you 19, 7 rebounds. But the main thing for Cat being as though I think this is only like his third game back from his injury. So he went 8 for 8 at the free throw line. So that's a good way of him to get his rhythm back and, you know what I'm saying, get back into the flow of the game. So Cat gave you some good production yesterday. Gobert went for 14 points, but he had 16 rebounds. That's another thing. They killed the Suns on the glass. They won the rebound battle 52-28. Suns, you're not winning like that. You know what I'm saying? They had 13 offensive rebounds. So that's 13 second chances that they had, you know what I'm saying, to score. So, I mean, you're not winning no game like that. You're not winning no game like that, period. And then you got Alexander Walker. He gave you 18 points off the bench. Nas Reed gave you 12 points off the bench. They beat the Suns yesterday, 41 bench points to 17. Nope, my bad, 41 to 18. I'm sorry, 41 to 18. They beat the Suns in bench points yesterday. You're not winning like that. Now, do I feel like they're going to get that type of production from a guy like Alexander Walker, Nas Reed again? I'm not confident in it, but I'm not going to say it can't happen. So, right now, Wolves lead the series 1-0. I think they play again Tuesday in Minnesota, but Suns got to get their shit together. Frank Vogel, get them rotation together. Devin Booker, show your ass up on the next game. And Bradley Beal, like I said, I'll take 15, but you can do a little better out there too. But T-Wolves up 1-0 in the series, so Tuesday we'll find out what happened from there. Now I'm going to move on to the 76ers versus the Knicks. That was a hell of a game yesterday. For some reason, I like watching playoff games in the guy. Crowd just be turned up. They even give you energy at home. But I think the biggest thing yesterday in that game was Joel Embiid. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Joel Embiid is 100% healthy. I don't think he's even, I'm going to be honest, I don't even think he's like 85% healthy. I think Joel Embiid just out there trying to make an impact as best as he can, but you can clearly tell he's not healthy. That fucking put-back dunk from a center, bruh, that shit was, I'm going to be honest, that was one of the best plays I've probably seen from a center and in a long-ass time. Joel Embiid, he just a freak of nature. But you got, the Knicks did what they were supposed to do. You got 22, 7 and 7 from Brunson. Josh Hart gave you 23, 13 rebounds, but he went 4 from 8 from 3, and he hit the dagger 3 because Philly kind of, once Joel Embiid got back in the game, Philly kind of started to close that gap. Philly was actually, I think at one point they was up like 18 before Joel Embiid got hurt. So Joel Embiid, I still think Philly got a shot. I think this series is going 7 games. If I'm being honest, I think this series is going 7 games. But this is a key factor. And like I said, anytime I'm watching a basketball period or playoffs, it's all about the others. The Knicks got 21 from McBride and they got 13 from Bogdanovic. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of production that you need from your other guys. I mean, come on now. Who's expecting McBride to come in and give you and go 5 or 7 from 3, 7 from 12 from the field and give you 20 and give you 21 points? Nobody's expecting that. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks got what they needed from their other guys. That was huge. You know what Brunson gonna give you. Josh Hart came out and had a solid game. They won the rebound battle 55-33. I think a lot of that had to do with Joel Embiid going out. But the Knicks got what they needed from their other guys. So they up 1-0. Philly, I'm going to be honest, the main thing they need to be worried about is Joel Embiid health, because if Joel Embiid, they got to do what they got to do. I really don't know, because like I said, you don't get healthier playing basketball. So hopefully Joel Embiid is okay. He's good enough to go on, but this is a good series. I think this series is going to go 7. So yesterday was a good game. On the Philly side of things, Maxey gave you 33. That's what you need from your star guys. Maxey did his thing. Joel Embiid, when he gave you 29, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He went 11 or 12 from the free throw line. You know that's what Joel Embiid do. I'm going to be honest with you. If Joel Embiid is capable of just going out there and, you know what I'm saying, doing what he got to do, like I said, I don't know the percentage of health in the knee, but as long as Joel Embiid is out there, he's a force. Like, there's no center in the league that can do nothing with Joel Embiid. It's either he going to bake your ass or you going to send him through the free throw line and he going to hit all his threes. I mean, to the free throw line and he going to hit all his free throws. So if Joel Embiid is good enough to go, I think this series can go 7. Kyle Lowry gave you 18 points. That's good from Kyle Lowry. Kelly Oubre only had like 10. You need more from Kelly Oubre. You need about 15 or 20 from Kelly Oubre. But I feel like Kyle Lowry giving you 18 kind of like offset that. So it was a good game yesterday. Knicks up 1-0 in the series. I think they play again tomorrow. So we'll see how it go. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about the game that I actually just watched. And it's funny, I'm laughing. Clippers and Mavericks. James Harden. Somebody must have sent my video to James Harden DM or something. Because I ain't going to lie, James Harden came on and had a hell of a game. This was a blowout. Mavericks kind of trying to inch it a little closer and closer, but it was a blowout from the beginning. James Harden came on and set the tone. Like I said, it's a microscope on James Harden, and so far he answered the bell. First game, 1 down, so we'll see how I go, but shout out to James Harden. He gave you 28, 8 assists. He went 6 for 6 from the line, and he went 6 for 11 from 3. So that's a hell of a game from James Harden, and that's kind of what you're expecting. That's kind of what you're expecting from him. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. That's what James Harden was brought in to do. He was brought in to be that third guy to, you know what I'm saying? If PG having an off game, or if Kawhi having an off game, or not playing like he is now, this is what you need from James Harden. This is what we asking from James Harden. We're not asking for him to go out and give you 50 and no. We know those years may be behind James Harden, but a game like this is a game from James Harden, and I think Clippers fans would love to get consistently, especially right now in the playoffs. So, hell of a game from James Harden. Paul George gave you 22. That's good for Paul George. You kind of would want like around 25-ish for Paul George, but in a blowout game, 22 is good. Zubac gave you 20 and 15. 20 and 15 from Zubac, and I think I said something about Zubac in my last video, but Zubac is a hell of a center. I actually like Zubac a lot. 20 and 15 is a great game from him, and if I don't know the length of Kawhi's injury, but if Kawhi is out, these are the type of games you're going to need from guys like James Harden and the other guys. 20 and 15, I'm not saying Zubac is going to give you that every game, but if he can give you around 15 and 12 or something like that, that's all you can ask for. So hell of a game for Zubac. Terrence Mann gave you 13 and 9. He went 3 for 3 from 3. So that's a good game for him. That's what you kind of expect from Terrence Mann. That's what you're going to need. And my man Russell Westbrook gave you 13 points. Russ just bring that energy. I fuck with Russ. Like, even though I said what I said about Devin Booker reminded me of OKC Russ, but I fuck with Russ though. Russ going to bring that energy. He going to talk that shit. And you know what I'm saying? That's just what they need. They controlled this game from the beginning. It wasn't even I never felt at one point that it was a chance the Mavericks could come back and win this game. So shout out to the Clippers. They go up 1-0 in the series. Luka gave you 33 and 13. That's kind of what you expect from Luka. But a lot of that came in garbage time when they was already down by like 20 plus 30. You know what I'm saying? So but that's just what you expect from Luka. Luka gonna give you that. Kyrie gave you 31 and 7. Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? You seen him a little animated on the sideline. Kyrie actually was kind of like keeping him a little attached to like that 20, bringing it down to like 15. Even though I never felt they had a chance of coming back, Kyrie was giving them that little spark in the second half. But like I said, you expect that from Luka and Kyrie. You expect them to give. They are your superstars. You expect them to give you their numbers. It's the rest of the guys that want to play a factor. They literally got nothing else from anybody. PJ Washington gave you 11, and they had 19 total bench points, but that ain't shit. Like, that ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna need guys like what's my man name? Penny Hardaway. They're gonna need other guys. They're gonna need guys to come off that bench. Dante Exum, Daniel Gafford. I think he started though, if I'm not mistaken. But they're gonna need those guys to, you know what I'm saying, step up and play their roles and help Kyrie and Luka. I still feel like Dallas could win it. This is another series that might go 7. This is another one of them series that I feel like can go 7. But like I said, shout out to the Clippers. I don't know the extent of Kawhi's injury. I'm hopefully he could play in this series, but knowing Kawhi, that's not 100% guaranteed. So shout out to the Clippers going 1-0 in this series. And I don't know that I got to look at the schedule. I'm not sure the next time they play, but hopefully we get another good game. Hopefully it's a little closer, and we'll see how it go from there. So I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna stick with basketball for just a little bit. Speaking of Kyrie. Everybody probably seen that the USA men's basketball team was announced this past week. I'm gonna go off the head of the roster. So I know for sure you got LeBron, KD, Steph, Devin Booker. You got Joel Embiid, Kawhi, Halliburton. You got Drew Holiday. That's nine. I gotta remember the rest of the team. Jason Tatum. I gotta look it up. But if you seen it, I posted it on my Instagram story anyway on the podcast page. But long story short, I just wanted to talk about that. I'm not gonna dive deep into it. I'm gonna just say one thing I don't like. I'm sorry, and this not a shot at Tyrese Halliburton or nothing like that. A lot of people was upset about Drew Holiday and Tyrese Halliburton. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the Drew Holiday that Drew Holiday made the team, and this is the reason why. I feel like Drew Holiday is somebody that you need on the team. One, he just won a gold medal with KD the last time that he played in the Olympics, I believe. Not the time where they just lost, but the one before that. He won gold with KD, and he got that championship pedigree, and you need defense. You can't have all offense on the USA team. You need defense because you're gonna be going up against guys in them other countries that can shoot. It's one game where somebody's gonna get hot. So I'm not really mad at the Drew Holiday pickup because Drew Holiday, one of them guys, you could bring him off the bench and all right, this guy going off. I need you to strap him or do your thing on him as far as defensively. So I'm not mad at Drew Holiday making the team. But I'm gonna tell you this. And this ain't no jab, but like I said, this ain't no jab at Halliburton or whatever, but Halliburton shouldn't have made the team, in my opinion. I'm taking either Kyrie or Brunson over Halliburton. One, because ever since the All-Star break, you've seen a dip in Halliburton's game. Like, you've seen it. He hasn't been the same guy that he was leading up to the All-Star game. Now, mind you, he did go through a little injury where he missed a bunch of time, but he hasn't been that same player from the beginning, and I felt like he shouldn't have been given the USA nod. I knew Kyrie wasn't going to make it, just like a lot of people should have knew, because you got the book situation, you got the vaccine situation. So I knew Kyrie wasn't going to make it, even though he should have, because I guarantee you, if you ask any GM in the NBA, are you taking Halliburton or Kyrie? It's an 80% chance majority of them going to say they taking Kyrie. Like, that's not even a question. And Brunson, if not Kyrie, I feel like Brunson to me has had a better year than Halliburton. I feel like Brunson should have got the nod over Halliburton if you wasn't going to give it to Kyrie. But that's just my grief with it. I'm not going to dive too deep in it. Shout out to Team USA. Let's go get gold. I just felt like that Kyrie should have got that nod. And if not Kyrie, then it maybe should have been Brunson. But I'm not disrespecting Halliburton. He on the team. He's a good player. I just feel like he took that dip after, after the All-Star break, if you have been paying attention. So, like I said, I dived into that a little bit. Last but not least, before I go, everybody know the NFL draft is this week, Thursday. I'm excited for it. My Cowboys, I don't even want to get into them because I'm still a little bit upset with them. But I'm a football fan in general. So I'm going to talk about it just for a split second. Everybody already know that it's more than likely Caleb Williams is going to be the number one pick in the draft. He's going to Chicago. And I'm going to tell y'all this, man. Stop disrespecting that boy, man. First and foremost, he a DMV kid, so shout out to Caleb Williams. But I feel like Caleb Williams is set up for success going into this year with the Bears. One, because you got DJ Moore there. They traded for Keenan Allen. I don't know their situation on the offensive line, and I think they got Herbert is they running back. They got Cole Kmet as a tight end. He's a solid tight end out there. Might be one of the top tight ends in the. I say like top 10. I ain't even about to cite it, but he's a good tight end though. And then they got a solid defense. They re-signed Jalen Johnson. They traded for Montez Sweat from Washington last year. He had a good year. Was a Pro Bowler. They gave him an extension. You got Edwards at linebacker. I think Caleb Williams is going to be set up for success. I think the Bears did everything that they should do leading up into the draft to where when he comes in, he'll have a pretty solid team around. Now, I'm not gonna say the Bears will make the playoffs, or honestly, that wouldn't be too far fetched. But I'm not gonna jump into that right now. I'm not saying that they're gonna win a division. Of course not. You got Detroit, you got Green Bay. And then, you know what I'm saying, I don't know the situation with Minnesota. I believe they're going to move up and draft a quarterback as well. But I don't know the situation with Minnesota. So I'm not going to say that the Bears will make the playoffs or nothing like that. But do I feel like Caleb Williams can come in there, have a good rookie season? Absolutely. I think a lot of people, and I hate that about the draft. You know, as you get closer, you start seeing people come out now. They questioning his character, and they start talking about him painting his fingernails and all that shit. Like, I'm not, listen, when I look at a prospect or a player coming in the draft, my thing is, when I watch him on film, what do I see? I know he got a cannon for an arm. People say Patrick Mahomes, but I almost so compare him to like Aaron Rodgers, being as though he could throw off platform, throwing the move. You've seen him do it. He didn't really have. They started off good last year. It kind of derailed towards the end at USC. But Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. Like, we're not gonna sit up here and act like he's not a good quarterback. I'm hoping that he can come in and, you know what I'm saying, lift the Bears, lift their franchise up, because they've needed it. They expected to get. I don't think Justin Fields was put in the best situation. Hopefully they've learned from that mistake and they'll do better as far as Caleb Williams. But I think he's primed for success. I think he could come in and have a pretty good rookie year as far as just with numbers and everything. So you got the draft on Thursday. I'm ready. I just wanted to touch on it just for a little bit, not too much into it. My next episode, we'll take a much deep dive into the draft and what went on with that whole process and everything. So that's it for this show. I'm going to wrap up episode 2. Shout out to all my supporters. Once again, I'm going to attach all the social media platforms onto this video. Don't forget, I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And y'all already know the motto I told y'all in the last video. No gimmicks, only the real. I see y'all.